When we were young toddlers, growing as a child, we never really noticed our growth. It would always be when we seen a relative that we haven't seen in a while. They would say, "Oh my God, you have gotten so big. I remember when you was this high." Or if your parents would mark your height on the door frame for you to notice when you hit a growth spurt. But what I love about walking with God, He allows you to see your growth. He allows you to see every growth spurt without someone else having to reveal how far you've come, how much you've grown. I haven't been online because we've been grieving the loss of a loved one. And my mind kind of been everywhere. I've been mourning, not just for how much I love this person, but for everybody else. My aunt especially, she lost her husband. Not only that, it was her best friend. I just been talking with God because my family has taken so many losses. His loved one suffered with Alzheimer's, memory loss. And when a person have to suffer with what they had to medically endure, it sometimes make us feel distant from them. And being they wasn't able to verbally express what they was going through mentally, they probably felt distant some days too. But God told me it didn't matter because He was never distant. And not just because the Bible tells us He's always near the brokenhearted, but also because it says nothing or no one can separate us from Him, not even a sickness. So even with the silent mouth and mind, God was still ministering to their spirit. And they had a very beautiful spirit. God kept asking me, "Vanessa, what is death?" And when we're grieving, all we can think about is that we lost someone. God said death is when someone is absent from me. He said if they experience death, that means I'm not present. He said, where do you think this person stood spiritually? And I started to think, they loved the Lord. They walked with God. And sometimes we be so blind trying to figure out why God allows certain things to happen to certain people. All we see is the people. We never look for God's footprints in the sand. God said, "Vanessa, what belongs to me will return to me." God said, you've read so many times that where I go, I prepare a place for you too. Because in my Father's house, there are many mansions. When people love me the way I love them, when they take up their cross and follow me, they become adopted and inherit the kingdom. And nobody on earth have control over time. When God says their room is ready, their mansion is ready. He moved them in because we belong to Him. God said, "Vanessa, they didn't die. Because with me, there's only life and life more abundantly." And I pray you become reassured with joy in knowing just that. God said because He's present, our loved one was called to life. Him talking to me blessed me. And I just pray it blesses someone else. I love y'all. God said, "Vanessa, you just hit another growth spurt."